All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting for February 15th, 2023. Please note the members that are in attendance. We do have a new board member that was agreed upon by mayor and council as of Monday, Mackenzie Kilby. She will be joining us as a whole for our March meeting. So welcome, Mackenzie. We look forward to seeing you in March. As far as minutes, has everybody received the minutes from our January 11th meeting?
Yes.
Okay, everybody looked that over? If everybody looked that over, do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
We will move to
Okay,
approve the minutes as presented.
okay, do I have a second to that?
I'll second.
Jerry to second, all right. Do we have any questions, comments, additions? Okay, all right, then, all in favor of accepting the minutes as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we are good, thank you. All right. We were going to have the nomination and election of secretary. We're going to go ahead and table that nomination and election again until March. So with that, I guess we can roll into Lorena and unfinished business.
Okay. Update on Bollinger Park Phase 1. We are still waiting for county engineering and forest conservation. We're still hoping to break ground this spring and, long story short, complete construction to open the park by this fall. So the grant deadline for the pollinator garden is August 1st. So I believe, I was just speaking earlier this week with Natasha of Cedar Hedge Farm, who's partnering with us on that project, that part of the project. And we believe that we can go ahead and get that pollinator garden in, even if that trail by that area isn't completely finished, because the edge of the garden doesn't run right up against the edge of the trail. So we'll be okay with that. So that way we can get that project done and closed out and the grant reimbursed before that August 1st deadline. Do you want me to just continue rolling on?
Sure, does anybody have any questions on Bollinger?
On Bollinger? Yeah.
No?
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. Update on Memorial Park expansion project. Aero Consulting has finished the surveying and topographical study and is working on the concept plan. I'm going to forward that to you all as soon as it's received, and then we'll be presenting that to the Taneytown Athletic Association and to the public at the March 15th meeting. So for those listening, this project involves constructing 4 multi-purpose playing fields that would be primarily used for soccer, lacrosse, and field hockey. It also involves a multi-purpose building for storage, practice, concession stand, parking, and also a walking trail around the perimeter. And that's all on the back 22 acres that's behind the baseball grandstand field. And also, as part of the project, the gravel part of Park Drive is going to be paved. So that'll be nice. And we are going to have to put in some traffic modulation measures, because I'm sure as soon as that's paved, people are going to be, you know, it's going to be the Indy 500 Speedway. So we'll see. Update on general park improvements, mainly the skate park rehab project, and that is moving along. The fencing has been removed and the asphalt where the concrete is going has been demoed. So American Ramp Company is going to be coming in the week of the 27th to start their work and construction on the concrete features. Then once they're finished, we will be repairing and overlaying the remaining asphalt. Our guys are going to be bringing in the old but improved equipment. So that's already being painted up and shined up and new skate ramps on and all of that. Then the bicycle pump track is going to be going in, and the fencing is going to be erected just on the 2 ball field sides. Yeah. So we're hoping that the weather cooperates and we can get the skate park open by the end of April with a ribbon cutting and also a dedication ceremony So that'll be nice. Stephen Walton's mother, the young man who we are memorializing part of the skate park for, his mother lives in Texas, and she's coming in for the dedication ceremony. So that'll be nice, yeah, to have her there. And we'd like to thank the Carroll County Times for their very nice article on the project. That was really good. It's appreciated. Yeah, also, as soon as that project is complete, I'll be getting that grant funding reimbursement. That's through Community Parks and Playgrounds. And that'll be almost $137,000 of the total about $195,000 cost. So, yeah, that really paid for definitely the majority of it. And I'm getting that cleared off of the Community Parks and Playgrounds books because I'll be applying again for more projects. And that leads me into my next note, which is the splash park. So this was discussed as a capital project with the city manager when we had our budget meeting recently, and it was switched in for fiscal year 2025, which is calendar year 2024, in place of the Bollinger Park Observatory, as y'all recommended. So I will be actively seeking grants to supplement that funding. I'd like to get a sizable park in there, and the area that we're thinking of at Memorial, because that's the only park we have water lines at, is the grassy area that's between the tennis courts and the houses that are along 190 or 140 there. Now I know that it's going to interfere with, overflow parking, but we only have events where we need overflow parking, every now and then. And we'll just have to use the football practice field for overflow parking in other areas. When we were talking about it, that just makes more sense. There are water lines close by. And we'd probably also put just a fence around it, just to keep the kids, safe. Not that there's any traffic in that area, but just in case,
Right.
I'm just hoping that parents don't use it as kind of a drop-off daycare. But if there's a fence around it, just like, okay, kids, go play, stay in the fence, and who knows, we'll see. But it's very exciting, and it's something that our community has called out for repeatedly, apparently, even before I came on board. Well, mostly, it was a pool or a splash park, right? Bring the pool back or what have you. But this is a better alternative just because it is cheaper in the long run to maintain. We can use a recirculation system, so that way we're not using gallons and gallons of water every day to run it. And it's safer. You don't have to have a lifeguard. There's no standing water where a child or anyone can drown.
Right.
So I think it's definitely a better alternative. And it's more interactive, too. I know that the children don't learn how to swim, but all the features that they have in
They
the
still
splash
get a
parks
water
these
feature.
days. Yeah, the water cannons and buckets that dump water, all kinds of different things, So I think
Does
that's
this
going to be.
change our insurance at all by having a
It probably will, yes. I mean, a lot of our amenities in the parks do.
Of course.
I mean, even the storage building at THS Park, raise the premium, just something
Gotcha.
else, yeah. So anything that we've paid money for and is an addition to the parks,
I just
we
didn't
have
know
to
if
have
it
it
was
insured.
under the umbrella of just like Memorial Park, but I guess each. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is insured separately, pavilions,
Okay.
all that good stuff. Tennis courts, yeah.
It would be cheaper than a pool for liability purposes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
it will be. I mean, if we put, I think of the capital improvement project list, I think it's like 350,000 is what we're estimating. Again, hoping to get grant funding just to help defray that. But just for reference, Sykesville put theirs in at Cooper Park, their splash park in, for $250,000. And they got a grant from Community Parks and Playgrounds for $100,000.
Yeah,
just
it's
to
an
offset that.
impressive park. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
can do the same.
Yep. So I think we can do the same, if not maybe a little bit better. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the bids come in at, because obviously this is way over the $25,000 threshold. We'll be putting it out to bid for sure. So it'll be exciting to see those designs and everything. So, and it'll be fun too, a fun process to get the community involved, you know, get their input on the features and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. So.
Excellent. All right, before you move in, does anybody have any questions in regards to anything that Lorena has mentioned so far? We're good? All right, we're good. Okay. All right, events for 2023.
Yes. All right, the first one kicking off is our Easter egg hunt. That's Saturday, April 1st, starts at 1 p.m. at Memorial Park. The supplies have been ordered and already received. We got a great discount, an early bird discount on pre-filled eggs, so nobody has to stuff eggs this year. Yep.
All right.
So we've got 4,000 eggs. And I'll be reaching out to Kenny's soon to get the cookies and the juice that we'll be handing out to the kids. I've got the Easter baskets from the raffles. I need a couple of volunteers to hide the eggs, but otherwise it should be a pretty simple day. Yeah. We've got a couple of these under our belts now, so you know what to expect. I do have a couple of community service people who will be volunteering at some of these events. So they've got to get their hours in.
Okay.
So that'll be helpful. The next one's going to be our Earth Day cleanup. That's Saturday, April 22nd from 1 to 3. We'll once again offer a free hot dog and drink to volunteers who come to clean up the parks. They can choose any of the 5 parks that we have open. And I do need volunteers to meet and greet them, hand out the trash bags and the lunch tickets. So I'll be reaching out to everybody for that, yeah. Next up is our fishing derby. That's Saturday, May 6th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Roberts Mill Park. All prizes have been ordered and received. Again, I love shopping, so and I like to get everything squared away so I don't have to worry about it at the last minute. Plus, you know, you get out there early, you get good deals. Waiting to hear back from the Lions Club on whether or not they're going to be able to be present with their food trailer to offer the contestants the free hot dog and drink. If they cannot, then we'll just go with the hot dog vendor that we used last year. He likes to call himself the hot dog man, but you know, it worked out, so that was good.
I did.
Yeah, and then we need, of course, some volunteers to measure the fish. So
Not me.
that's always fun.
No.
I find that more people want to volunteer for that event than they do for others. I mean, it's just more fun.
I'll
I guess. I
register
don't know.
kids. I will
Yeah.
not.
I think the fishing derby is probably my favorite. I enjoy that.
It is fun to watch the kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
they get excited over anything.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. One of the biggest events of the year, the Wine Festival, Saturday, June 10th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Memorial Park. Working on securing beverage vendors, so they're coming in little by little. So next month I'm gonna start actually calling them, kind of pestering them, you know, whatever, making that personal connection. I put a general call for craft vendors out on social media, and it's going out in the Taneytown Record, which I think it's going to the printer tomorrow, or it's coming out soon. So that'll be out there. And so we're getting more craft vendors signing up. And we booked Bootleg as the band.
Okay.
They're a local Carroll County band, and they've got a pretty good following. So, and they had a really good rate too. So it was good. It was $800 for a day, which is
Wow.
Yes, yeah. Compared to, I think we spent like a couple thousand on previous bands each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a contract for this band? and-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they, no, I'm just as far as people that the band can allow in.
Oh,
for-
right. You know what? They didn't have any riders or provisions like that.
Okay.
Yeah, which is good.
But that's even
Right.
better.
Yeah, so they don't have their groupies, you know, getting for free. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, although, I mean, It'll be different this year with the new model that we're going to have with the free general admission, no tastings. That'll be better for our vendors because they'll get the additional shoppers and the band, they'll attract their fans as well. And so we're just hoping that people come in and they're looking around and seeing everybody with their little tasting glasses who've purchased a ticket, and then
Right.
they'll get one as well. They'll go ahead and get their ticket. Art in the Park event, or actually the Taneytown Artisan Fest. That's how it's been branded. So to avoid confusion with Westminster's Art in the Park event that they do every year. Saturday, July 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., also at Memorial Park. Carroll Art Center is working on getting their art vendors registered. They are first reaching out to their Art in the Park Westminster vendors and previous vendors to give them first crack at it, and then they'll put a general call out. So I'm hoping that we get some local artists involved in that and signed up. We are assisting with soliciting sponsorships from our local businesses. So hopefully we'll get some good feedback on that. And it just sounds like a fun day with artists and art vendors, food truck, musical performances. There'll be a kids' craft tent set up. So,
That sounds fun.
yeah, and all of that is free for the community. So that'll be nice. We're also working with the Carroll Arts Center and Taneytown Men of Faith to once again bring back the Movies in the Park series this summer. So we're still working on selecting the dates in the movies.
Okay,
As soon as we have all that, I'll make up the flyers and get it out there. So,
perfect.
yeah. We've contracted with Fun Events, who's a local business, for anyone who doesn't know that, who might be listening, for several of our events this year. They generally provide, as you all know, but just for the listeners, tents, tables, chairs, bounce houses, face painters, DJ, all that kind of good stuff. So we've contracted with them for the Wine Festival, Independence Day celebration on July 2nd, Family Fun Food Truck Friday on July 21st, and the Harvest Festival on September 30th. So we've locked in those contracts. They gave us a nice discount, and we got they were increasing their prices for 2023, but if you locked in before February something, I can't remember, you got the 2022 prices. So that's what we did. I've also reached out to our recreational program instructors. That would be Darian Nail for the tennis clinics and Sean Essed for the yoga classes. And I've also reached out to Stephanie Sullivan with Chose Hep Keto to do the martial arts classes this year. We tried to get it organized last year like we'd done in previous years, but it didn't work out last year. So hopefully we'll get those finalized and get those out of there. Tennis clinics have already been set. I've got the flyer ready. I'm just not gonna put it out there because that's not until July. So I'll wait until, next month or so to get that going. All right, the next one, flea market / yard sale. So we've discussed this before, but, we put that out there on Facebook based on the info that we got from our park survey and other Facebook comments and such. So I had asked, what would be best, summer, fall, what, that kind of thing. So the general consensus apparently was, let's do it all. Let's do both, one for every season, whatever. So I think we'll start off with the first one, take it, one by one. So what do you think? Summer, fall? What's your input on that? What do you
I
think?
kind of think spring or fall, a lot of people do like a spring
Yeah.
cleaning
Yeah,
kind of
spring or
thing.
fall,
The-
spring
The
cleaning,
summer
fall
is just like so
preparations.
hot.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's what I, like, if
Right.
you could get something together for this spring, or if that's, too soon, then I would shoot for the fall for the first one.
Well, I think we could probably swing a spring one this year, because my intent is to keep it simple. We charge $10 for a spot. They'd have to bring their own tables and set up and all that kind of stuff. But I'm thinking we just do that, roll in a couple of food trucks, and then rather than assigning a set space on a map with a location and everything and sending it out to everybody who signed up, just sending everybody, here's the location where you're gonna be. First come, first chosen, whatever. You go to this area and you pick your spot, to keep it simple. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
I like
Yeah.
that, yeah. That would
that's a good
be much
idea. I
easier.
mean,
Yeah, first come, first serve.
I mean, I wouldn't think that anybody would get into fisticuffs over it, hopefully, like, I was gonna set my table up there, kind of thing. I'm hoping not. But we'll try it this way for the first time, and we'll see how it works.
goes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
If
you
it
could
runs,
just have, like, you could have all of the spaces numbered like you normally do. And just as like the first person that gets there, you say you're in space 1, and the next person you're in space 2. Like, and just that way they're not picking and then there's no chance of them fighting, but you don't have to pre-figure it all out either, like you're saying, like just as they come in, just go right around the loop or, or whatever the area is that you have set up for it.
Yeah.
right, that's true, that's an idea, yeah. Okay, so everybody thinks $10 is a good thing, all right. We won't be putting out any cost on
The
this,
question is
yes.
it restricted to town residents only?
No. Anybody who
Okay.
pays, I would think, anybody who pays the $10, you bring your items in, you set up, bring your table, set it up, and
Well,
you take care of it.
my thought was, if you're a town resident, it costs you nothing or $5. But if you're not a town resident, you're coming into our territory, you get charged more.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I understand the concept, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
It's just a thought.
Yeah,
At least in the beginning, we just want to get as many as we can.
right, yeah.
Absolutely. Lorena, where would this take place on the football field, similar to like the Wine Fest, or would this take place in a different spot of the
Yeah,
park? So
I
we
would
don't
think
have
it
that
would be
requirement?
more in the grassy area, between the tennis courts and where the splash park's gonna go. Guess we won't use that in future years now, but, just, or probably around that area, around the gazebo as well. Lacrosse is starting up their season soon, and they've been using the football field and the practice field. They and football have worked out an agreement, since football doesn't use them in the spring. And obviously with baseball coming in, and starting theirs up. So, and that's the other thing, I'm gonna need to coordinate a date with those two organizations, because I don't want to schedule anything on a date when there's gonna be a game or something, with a lot of parking issues and such. So that's gonna be a little tricky. We'll see. I'll try to get that figured out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know a lot of times people like, seem to do yard sales more like Friday, Saturday, as opposed to doing stuff on Sundays. But I know like with baseball schedule, like Sunday's gonna be more relaxed for the sports not being in the park, so you have to kind of,
I
weigh
know.
it out.
Right. Well, I'm hoping that maybe baseball has like an away, day away Saturday or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to plan that out with them.
Would it be possible to see about using the carnival grounds?
And I guess we could, but then, I mean,
I mean, if there's nothing else going on there, if they'd be willing to.
I don't know. It might be a little bit trickier, because then, I mean, it's not really under our purview, so to
Right.
speak,
Yeah, it was just a thought,
I don't know. Yeah.
especially being as sometimes the spring can be very wet.
Right, yes, yeah, true. Well, I mean, we'll, and we've got to find a date that we can also wedge it in between our other events, because, we do have a lot going on. I mean, there's a gap between the May 6th Fishing Derby and obviously Monday Memorial Day. So maybe one of those couple weekends, I can coordinate it and work it out with baseball and lacrosse and see what we can do. So,
Yeah, and I know in terms of like parking and congestion and things like that, obviously we'd like to like offset them. But in terms of having like almost some people that are there as like an audience that might be interested, I mean, it might be
that's true.
almost beneficial to kind of have it going on as,
Kind of copacetic, yeah.
yeah, you got people in the parks already, they
Right.
might be interested, but
That's true,
depending on the capacity of it, it might, conflict a little
Right.
bit, so,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, depending who's on field 1, too.
right,
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
parking situation.
Yeah,
right.
so I know the one year when there was like the Fall Fest and the baseball tournament going at the same time, there was a lot of people in the park for the baseball tournament. They didn't even know that was going on, but like, because they were coming from all over, but like,
Right.
a lot of them went and attended it, and the people that were set up said they, they were really busy, so,
Oh, okay,
you know,
right.
that's what he was saying, just, you
Mutually
got,
beneficial,
with
yeah.
having, right, I mean, even at the time, like the baseball tournament, we had our snack shack set up, and a lot of the people that were attending the Fall Fest, like, came and got food, so it kind of,
Oh,
like, it
nice,
helped,
yeah.
back and forth, so.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Well, we'll go forward on that, see how it goes, and then if it's successful and it runs smoothly, then we'll look at maybe something in the fall as
That
well.
would work.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I think that was pretty much all I have for events. Again, we've got a lot going on, trying to bring more events in as well. So I think we're doing a pretty good job with the community. Just, they have to show up. You know,
Yeah. So we can do more of that.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree.
And we have to find a way to get it publicized more widely to draw people from out of town.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Update on fiscal year 2024 budget. Met with our city manager and treasurer, and everything went well. Nothing was cut from the draft that I sent to you, so it was good news. We have some, I'll call them smaller projects, but include fixing up Flickinger Park, and that involves bringing some fill dirt and doing some little bit of grading there, bringing in some seed, repaving those pathways, putting in some new mulch on the playground. Most of our playgrounds are going to get new mulch this year. THS Park Playground, because it's relatively new, I think that's fine. But some of the other ones need to be supplemented. The pathways, also at Roth Avenue Park, those are gonna be redone. We're gonna finish the concrete floors for Memorial Park, that's pavilions 4 and 5. So all of those, well, 1, 3, 4, and 5 will have concrete floors. We're holding off on 2 right now. That's the one that's open. Just because if we put concrete in right now without excavating and digging it out, that's got a lower ceiling. So if we put concrete in there, people are gonna be
Right. That's true.
hunker down, yeah,
Yeah.
banging their heads, yeah. We were able to accommodate all of TAA's requests, well, most of them. So we'll be doing some field improvements. We'll be doing field fencing repairs at Memorial and field improvements on Field 1. At Roberts Mill Park, we'll be doing some pretty substantial field improvements there and helping them out with that. And we're also going to be putting in some bicycle racks and repair stands at Memorial and Roberts Mill. So that's nice. Yeah, yeah, that'll be helpful. We also have to put in some new trash cans. You know the brown slatted trash cans that are all bent and leaning over and all that kind of stuff. We've done quite a bit to replace most of them. There are still a few here and there that just couldn't get replaced. But with this budget funding, then we'll be able to finish that out. And then we'll get the new trash can liners. The ones that come with the new trash cans are these hard plastic ones, and they get very brittle in the winter and the summer, so then they just crack and it's a mess. So we're just gonna get some good old-fashioned Rubbermaid, softer trash can liners to help out the guys with that. What else? Oh, we are also going to be putting in a couple of additional cameras. A couple at Memorial Park that'll be on that middle pole that's closest to the gazebo. So it'll be pointed towards the gazebo and the tennis courts, and then over to the playgrounds. And then another one over at Roberts Mill Park that's gonna be situated at the little spring house, the pump house. That's gonna be focused towards the dog park, just in case.
Okay.
I just wanna make sure that that's covered over there in that area. Oh, and speaking of Roberts Mill, new basketball backboards. Yeah, I know you're excited about that, yeah. Yes. Priced out some nice acrylic ones. Now, they are not gonna be as nice as the ones at Memorial Park. Those are like $1,000 each. They're like, I mean, they're really crazy. Like that's tempered glass, and it's very,
Quality.
very high level. Yes, very, very high quality, yes. So, so hopefully we can get those installed. Our guys will go ahead and do that. So that'll be nice,
Yeah.
nice addition there.
That's nice.
Let's see, what else? What else do we have going on? Football field house roof repair and drywall repair. Bleacher pads for baseball. They've got a couple bleachers that the mowers are just tired of moving here, moving back or whatever. So we're just gonna put concrete pads down and put the bleachers on top. So that way they're good to go. Roberts Mill Park, back to that again. We have to replenish some of the riprap because kids are picking those rocks up, throwing them out into the pond. So they're not doing their job, the rocks at the shore. I mean, right now, it looks okay, but there are some gaps. So we're gonna have to pay for some more riprap to stabilize that shore additionally, just to make sure it's doing its job. And then I just built in tree maintenance as needed. I know that at Roberts Mill, there's a big dead, I think it's a maple that's near the storm pond, so that's gonna have to come down. And some other things, so I think that that is it. I also put in, as you all probably saw, the Neos, the surfacing there. Right now, it's just, it's like a rubber tile type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's starting to degrade. I mean, it's time to replace it. So that's been budgeted in as well. And that'll be just a solid rubberized surface, the new surfacing there. It won't be tiles again. Oh, and back to Roberts Mill, sorry, I keep switching back and forth between these parks. We're gonna finish off that fence between Food Lion and the soccer fields. Remember, we had just put a portion of it where there wasn't a curb at Food Lion, but apparently that didn't deter a driver who, I don't know if they jumped the curb or what, and still managed to get out there on the fields. And the police then had to chase them across the field, so that's nice. So we're just gonna be connecting that fence all the way down to the edge of our property line, so that's it. If they wanna jump the curb or whatever and get onto this field, they're gonna be crashing through the fence. So hopefully they'll,
You can only do so much.
right,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, that's really
exactly.
bad when, yeah,
Just don't
I'm sure
know,
they'll try.
right, yeah. I think that that is it. Did anyone have any questions about anything on the budget that I sent to you?
No, besides you did a wonderful job. It'll definitely keep you busy for the next year, that's for sure.
So, oh, and just to reiterate, our capital projects, the construction, the actual construction for the Memorial Park expansion project. We're coming up on a tot lot replacement at Memorial Park. The tot lot that's there is, it's time. So I'm hoping that, and we're gonna be using program open space, it's our turn again for that, which the county generously shares with us, their portion. So we're estimating that at 85,000 for what we got this year. So I'd like to put in a really nice tot lot with the rubberized surfacing again. So, the little kids have more of a, proclivity to fall, and that mulch isn't, you know, I'd rather have a softer rubberized surface, yeah. And then connector sidewalk from Cureleaf, their sidewalk out on 140 ends, and then it's just grass until Park Drive. So people aren't walking, because the people from Cureleaf do come over to the parks for lunch and such. We put in that sidewalk there to connect it, and that way they don't have to walk out on 140 or walk in the grass to get to Memorial Park. And that's for capital this year.
Any questions for Lorena thus far? Good? So are you good? Any questions for Lorena so far?
Not for that, I'm good.
Okay. All right, then the last thing that I have under unfinished business, additional miscellaneous updates. I just want to note that there's been a lot of chatter out on Facebook. Some of it about parks and park facilities. I think with this being an election year, a lot of points are being made and driven home to the community. So I try to respond to those as best I can, and I'm just keeping it simple, just providing the facts. I know you guys may be approached out on the street or wherever with park questions or maybe conjecture that's been made out there. Again, same advice, keep it simple, just provide the facts. Obviously, we want to be here to listen to any concerns that are brought forth, and of course, we want to make our parks experiences the best we can for our community members. And I think we're doing that. I think we're doing a good job on that. So, but if anything, if you notice anything out there on Facebook, complaints or anything like that, I try to address them. People really shouldn't be posting the complaints out there. If they have a complaint or an issue or something, they should be contacting us. They should be calling in or sending an email. But, that's not how things go these days. People, it's so easy to jump on social media and send out a tweet or put a post on Facebook and,
Nameless complainers.
Yes, exactly.
Or they could show up to a meeting, right?
Right.
Meetings,
They could.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on a Facebook hiatus, so I'm just like wondering.
Oh, it's
Right.
it's probably a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, so for anybody, that's watching, obviously, if you notice something in the park that's an immediate safety issue, or you see something that needs to be addressed, you need to be contacting Lorena directly, responding to other posts of possible candidates is not going to help you immediately at all. We have somebody sitting right here who's our Director of Parks and Rec, who can, take your concern and address it accordingly. And if it needs to be addressed, she will do so immediately. So that's the best advice for anybody that's listening. It's just not going to get rectified bouncing back and forth with other people who might be running or not. Your contact person is going to be the city. So that's it.
And then the other thing I want to note too, Festival Park.
Yes, ma'am. That is the one I'm going to be on as long as I'm on this board.
So my vision is that we start looking at just general concept, things we're putting together with like Google Earth images or what have you, later this year, as we can get to it, but definitely this year. I know Public Works is still considering that area out there, the road frontage. I'm not sure what the current status is, on that or what have you, but it would be great if they did get in there because they could help put the.
I actually sat down and I wrote myself a couple of notes here about that.
Right,
If the DPW is going to put a building out there,
yeah.
we need to know where it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
before we can start.
Right.
Plan.
That's why I said later this year, because I'm thinking they're gonna kind of know maybe, what they're gonna do, where they're gonna do
They've got
it.
to do
Yeah.
their concept plan and get that building there, and then once that's done, then we'll know that what we have to,
Well,
deal with.
my thinking is that if the building is going to be somewhere near what I'm calling the relation to the park entrance, if it's going to be close to that, would it be possible to include in that building a small office, box office, ticket booth, whatever, contained in that building, but inaccessible either from either side?
I don't know. I mean, it's a
Well,
question we
I'm
could
saying,
certainly ask them, yeah.
And that would contain like the light switches for the parking lot and for the amphitheater, which are going to need some lighting. So that during an event there, we have control of the lighting for the parking and the event area.
Right.
Could also possibly include some restrooms.
Do you mean restrooms open to the public?
Either or.
Yeah, I mean, while that's
Yeah,
I'll
it
say
might
a
be.
noble
it-
concept.
It might, you might just limit it to ADA accessible.
I don't know.
But I'm just, that just,
Yeah,
you know, if the building is going to be 30 feet wide, we could use a 10 by 10 space for the box office and the light switches and whatever else we need. And then that other 20 feet could be used for something else.
I think it's gonna be a lot bigger than that. But
But
yeah, I
anyway.
get I got your point though, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, you know,
Okay,
that's,
that's a good thought. Yeah,
but like I said, you know, if we could get, if, it depends on where the building, their building is going to be.
right.
If it's going to be too far from what we consider to be the park entrance, which I'm guessing is going to be probably that access road that we get in when we're going visiting. If it's going to be too far from that, then we need to go in another direction for
Right.
the ticket booth and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
But if the building's going to be there,
yeah. We'll have to see how it shakes out for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's something that we can't deal with until that portion of the property is assigned and taken care of.
Right. That is true.
When is Public Works scheduled to possibly, I mean, is that even on the horizon right now, or?
Well, since our city manager is sitting in our audience, all eyes are turning to him. I don't know.
Our budget meeting
Yeah.
next Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we looking at as far as fiscal year for,
There's money in the upcoming fiscal year for design in there, so we put, and it's just earmarked, we don't have any bids yet. We put, I think, $250,000 in, split out between water, sewer, and streets for engineering and design for the site. Construction potentially the following year. That project, I think, is going to be hugely dependent on securing some grant funding or maybe even earmark money because it's got a very lofty price tag. And we have been really working hard not to borrow whenever possible, but this one might be something that we have to do either sign up for the state infrastructure bonding or something. We may end up having to borrow or do a bond or something for it because the price tag is pretty far up there.
I can only imagine.
And after all of our water and sewer rehabilitation projects that are slated for the next couple of years, that's using up a lot of our water sewer savings, and all of our ARPA money is going towards those projects. So it's,
It's gonna be, it's gonna be a while. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
That was it.
a lot of
Jen.
question marks.
Yeah, didn't mean to put you on the hot seat there, sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we do appreciate that, thank you.
All right. So we will have time. Obviously, the engineering isn't slated for Festival Park until, I think it's 2027, fiscal year 2020. So that would be, I think, right, 2026, right?
2.5
Yeah.
years.
So by then, Public Works they'll have something situated, so we'll know what direction we're going in
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
But yeah, hopefully later this year, we'll have some kind of idea, so we can kind of just do some rough sketches ourselves. Yeah. And that's all I have. That's it for unfinished business. Any questions?
anybody? Anybody? All right, well, I think we're good with that. Yeah, thank you so much, Lorena, for all of that. It's exciting, it's gonna be a great year. All right, so we're going to jump on to new business, and I believe Mr. Hobbs has something to share with us.
Yeah, I was in at the Home Depot a few weeks ago, ran into someone that I know that works there, and they were telling me about this program that they have there called Team Depot. And basically what it is you apply when you need like help with a project, and not like financial help or supplies, but they actually put together a group of volunteers to come out to do the project or help you with the project.
Nice.
And I thought that was a nice, different way to get help because, a lot of times you'll ask, places for a donation or, whether it's financial or supplies. But when it comes time to do the project, you might not have all the help that you need. I mean, something I know we faced a lot in the baseball program over the years, like sometimes getting the funding wasn't a problem or going through like the county grant and getting the supplies from the self-help. But when it come time to do the project, we couldn't get the people together to help. So, not just with the sports, but, the other community projects, the stuff that we do, Wine Fest, things where you need like, a fair bit of help. I thought it might be something to look into. Get their application, fill it out. You basically, tell them what you're looking for. And then if you get approved for it, they'll assemble a team and they'll come out and give you a hand.
All right.
I wonder if they
So-
like decorating for Christmas.
Right, yeah, really. Team Depot decorators.
But I was thinking for the sports teams, like the upcoming field maintenance days, I know that was always trouble getting people out. Baseball, softball, you're spreading dirt and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's just been a lot of times where getting the money or getting the supplies isn't the problem. It's
the
getting
people.
that,
Yeah.
The labor.
volunteer force to get it done and,
Right,
and that's a way they can help with the community stuff.
okay. Well, I mean, if it's applicable for volunteering at events, I'll certainly reach out to them. Why not? See what we can do.
Yeah, definitely
Sure.
mention that at TAA next month, too.
Yes, for
Yeah.
the sports
Just
programs.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, they get the information as well.
right.
What I'll try to do in the meantime, I'm sure I'll be back in Home Depot for something. I'll see if I can't get a copy of the application.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And that way, we can give them to the sports groups and stuff.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with me. That'd be wonderful. All right. Let's see, reports. So we're going to reports, but I'll throw it out to Mayor Pro Tem Fuller. Do you have anything from Mayor and Council?
Not from the mayor and council, but right along those same lines, as Jerry was talking about, I did go to Texas Roadhouse, and I think I left you a text message while we were there, but I don't know. They also want to become involved. They have a really great outreach program there. So they said when we have, one of the ones she mentioned was the movie nights. She said they have resources and they want to reach out and they want to offer us help too. So just something else to keep in mind. I think they actually offered some eggs for Easter too with some of their coupons in it. So
wow.
she's going to touch base with me about that.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
some-
great.
And I think they give out, it was free kids meals, I think, inside
Oh,
the
that's
eggs.
cool.
So they're going to hopefully get back to me on that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I was only going to ask for like a couple. And she said, oh, no, let me give you like 100. I said,
Oh, that's great.
okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
that.
I
That's
think they give,
exciting.
they
Yeah.
give Westminster, the city of Westminster, for theirs like 1,000 eggs.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Huh.
well,
That's
I'll
all
take
right.
whatever you
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah.
give me more.
Any
But aside
extra.
from that, just as always, very appreciative of everything you guys do, and especially Lorena.
Absolutely.
Things are going fabulously.
All right. Thank you with that. All right. And then just 2 comments. Mr. Harvey, do you have anything for us?
No comments. I know unfortunately I will personally probably be unavailable for the Easter egg hunt. I got another event that day, but I will try to make myself available for the other upcoming events for volunteer support and, whatever's needed those days.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Holmes?
I thought of a question after we got done talking about the splash park. And you were talking about having it fenced in. Is that going to be, is it going to have like hours of operation where it's only open from like 9 to 5? Is it going to be like gated off like at nighttime? Like I'm just trying to understand how the whole structure is going to be set up.
Right. Well, definitely things to consider. The water's not going to be running 24/7, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I mean, the park hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But I don't think we want to run the water. We're not going to be cranking that out at 6 a.m. and keeping it on until 10 o'clock at night. So we'll come up with some suitable hours that we think will be expansive enough to accommodate everybody during the summertime, but yet try to keep the water, usage down to a minimum. And the gate, I would think that, or the fence, I would think that we will probably have a gate on there that is lockable, just in case we need to do, I don't know, repair in there, or, if it's been vandalized, one hopes not, but who knows? Things happen. Or whatever the case may be, we have to close it temporarily. We'll close and lock the gate. But otherwise, I would think that it's just going to be, kind of kept open. If there's no water running, I can't imagine anybody would want to get in there and,
But
play
my
around.
thought is like just nighttime vandalism. I
Right.
mean, it's like, and I know, you have to have somebody go there every day and open it and lock it if you're gonna do it, every day, but like, I just think it seems, to leave it open up all night when nobody's should be in there, nobody, should be using it, but that doesn't mean people won't be in there, and.
It might be helpful to actually check in with Sykesville and see what they do, and maybe some other places that also have similar features.
I don't think they have, do they have a fence around theirs?
I haven't seen
I don't-
theirs yet, so I
don't think
don't
that they
know.
do.
From my, I've never been there, but
Yeah.
my wife and children have. From my understanding, they do not.
No, I think it's open from, I went there when they first opened it, and I don't remember a fence.
No.
So I don't know if they have the same, I know every place has vandalism, for sure, but, we'll
Might have to put up
see.
some more cameras.
I was just thinking
That was
that.
gonna be my suggestion. We better have some good cameras then.
Well, we can run those up off the tennis court lights. Just point it right down to the splash park. So,
For sure.
Yeah, early in my working career in Parks and Recreation, I had a place that had a wading pool. And the wading pool was open during the time that there was supervision. But there was no lifeguard or anything. There was just the general park supervision personnel, me.
right.
And at 10 o'clock in the morning, when I got there, I turned the water on. And when it was time for me to leave, I turned the water off and had to wait till it drained.
Right.
And when the wading pool was dry, I could move.
Right.
But, so basically what you're really looking for, if you're putting a fence up, and this didn't have a fence around it because it really wasn't necessary. If you put a fence around it, it's basically to protect the spray equipment from vandalism. So, and other than that, you just need somebody to go turn the water on, turn the water off,
Well, I'm hoping that,
figure the hours.
well, and I'm sure there's technology out there for a timer situation to, automatically start the system up and, all that kind of good stuff. And then turn it off as well. Much like our fountain, the lights. The lights are on a timer.
Yeah.
The fountain itself will run, 24/7 because it's doing its job with the water, circulation and all of that. But the lights themselves are, so something similar to that, I would imagine we can do. So,
Yeah. I mean, really, for something of that nature, it's, supervision is probably negligible because either the kids are going to be old enough to take care of themselves, and if they're not, the parents are going to be with them, or somebody's going to be with them.
one would hope.
Well, I was gonna say.
Yeah, well.
Let's just hope.
Yeah,
I know I'm taking a large assumption on that one.
yeah, yes.
Yeah. Did you have anything additional, Bill?
That's
Good?
it. That'd be me.
I really don't have anything. We talked a lot, lots of stuff going on. So, Of course, if anybody's interested in volunteering for all the events that we have in 2023, Lorena is your person to contact. The more the merrier, especially Wine Fest. That's an all-day event, and we need volunteers for that. So if you can assist with anything, we would love to have you. But other than that, that's it for me. Anything additional from Lorena? Okay. All right, so with that, our next meeting date is scheduled for March 15th, and that will be with the Athletic Association, starting at 6:30. And with that, if we have nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye. That's it. We will see everybody March 15th. Thank you. Did you have public comment?
We're not used to having public here.
That's really funny. Did you want to talk?
Sorry,
Did you both want to talk? I'll jump back on and say, hold on, we have some public here.
Excellent job, everybody.
We'll get back on and be like, public